So congratulations to everybody who's involved in that, but especially we're here to talk about Chris and his development. To recognise the unique contribution, this day is about celebrating and recognising the unique contribution to sustainability that Chris made, both at the most basic level, which is that level about individuals living together in a sustainable way, but also at a level where it was about how planning and development takes place and how the standards and laws that guide this process have evolved and have to evolve going forward. And this development has, really made steps to make things happen in that realm. It's important just to note that these outcomes are not just the result of Chris working alone. I see many faces here today who have been involved in that process through the company, the directors, the partners and the friends of Chris. But this day particularly is about Chris's individual contribution to that. And I would suggest that Chris's personality, his determination, his vision and his persistence were a critical factor in the success that this project has achieved. I know from my personal interactions with Chris that he was not a man to be messed with. Most notably, Chris had an incredible determination and a strength of resolve to see this project through. And it was a project that was continually breaking new ground, and it was no easy task. So if there was a barrier that needed to be overcome, or a stupid planning law or a stupid regulation that needed to be sorted, Chris would keep at it until it got sorted. And I was often on the other end of that. I remember many very long phone calls, emails, discussions, but this is the sort of determination and persistence that it takes to actually make things happen, to make a difference in the world. It's not enough to have vision. There are many, many visionaries, but you have to have persistence and single-mindedness and determination, and I think that Chris certainly had that in spades. Things did eventually get tough, especially when the GFC hit, and then the obstacles were not just to do with bureaucracies and red tape, but they went much deeper, and they were harder to overcome, and the company at that point did run into strife. But notwithstanding all of the downsides, the upside is here with us today in this community. We see it. This is the upside. A sustainable community now exists on the Gold Coast, snuggled in amongst the beautiful Currumbin Hills, acting as a guide for what, in my view, has to become the model for future development, not just here, but across the world. Because the opposite of sustainable development is unsustainable development, which by its very definition can't succeed. So Chris, along with Kerry and all those who came with him on that journey, and that includes all the individuals who live here in this community who, they actually talk the walk, they walk the talk, sorry, and they've invested their money here. This is showing us the way forward. Before he left us, Chris and I had talked about the development of this park and what might eventuate here. And the development of this park as a facility for the entire community, not just for those who live in the eco-village, is, in my view, a means of furthering Chris's dream of spreading the message about sustainability to the wider community, because we are opening up the park to bring people from the outside into the village itself. The Chris Walton Oval next to the village will draw people into the area and will illustrate to the broader community not just the sustainability, not just the environmentally sustainable aspects of the village, but also the social sustainability that is developing here in the village, where a like-minded and community-minded group seems to be getting going, where people who don't necessarily see eye to eye on everything can come down to the village green, have a chat, game of cricket, celebrate a birthday, get married, enjoy Father's Day, or just spend some time kicking a ball around with the kids or taking Granny for a bit of a sunshine, a bit of an outing. And I think Chris would have liked that. So I'm really happy to welcome you all here today. I'm really happy to be a part of naming this oval the Chris Walton Oval. I think it, is wonderful for our community to be able to recognise Chris as an individual, and he meant so much to so many people. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for all that we see around us today, and for everyone else who was involved in the journey with me. Thank you all.
you very much, Councillor Robbins, for your heart-filled